I am Caleb Jones, and this is Sovereign CEO, where we talk about things like setting up your own location independent business so you can escape the collapsing West, which is collapsing regardless of who you vote for, and perhaps moving to another country, or at least spending more time abroad, or at very least setting up an international backup plan, like here in Paraguay would be a good example of that, so you can live more free and more stable at the same time. See, Sovereign CEO violates the rule of the more freedom you have, the less security you have. Five Flags, international lifestyle, location-dependent income, raises your freedom and raises your stability and safety at the same time. I am one of the most freest men in the world that I know of who is not a billionaire. I am also one of the safest men in terms of financial security, things like that. Talk about all that. Today, we're going to talk about how to create the big income, mid-high six figures or low seven figures. That is a topic that I know interests many of you. It's certainly a topic that interests me more and more in the last few years. We will get to that in a few moments. We are currently live on both my YouTube channels and LinkedIn and Facebook, who apparently will not be doing the metaverse now. Imagine losing $26 billion. Never mind. So I'm going to hang out for a few minutes as people file in. It always takes a few minutes for people to pile in, and I'll get started in a few minutes. Until then, I will just small talk. My favorite thing to do at parties is small talk because I'm an introvert. I'm here, as you can tell, in Paraguay. This is my apartment near Villa Mora. You really can't see because the lighting in the video, you can't see. There's another luxury tower across the street. And I'm in the nicest part of the city, which is a pretty small part of the city. And I'm here, let's say I've been here for 2 weeks. I'll be here for another week. Then I go back to Dubai. I'll be in Dubai for about 2 or 3 days. Then Pig Firefly and I, my wife and I, go to Maldives for a week for a vacation. She'll be on vacation. I'm going to work. But we'll be on the water. Be really pretty. We'll do that for about a week. Then I'm back in Dubai for 2 months, and then I start up my travel again. I'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona. I will be in London, England. I will be in Armenia. I'm going to be all over the place. Typical year, another typical psychotic travel year for Caleb. So there you go. Let's see. Let me check the technology here. If you guys could put in the chat the number 2, that you can both see me and hear me, that would be wonderful. I assume you can, but I'm still paranoid about these things. And I know there are guys, I have buddies like Lucario who just do live streams nonstop. They don't do recorded video, they just do live streams. Scott Adams does that too. A lot of guys just do live streams. But I just do them once a week, so I'm always paranoid about it not working and crap. I see 1, 2. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Awesome. Oh, I see 2s now. Yay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's great. All right. Good. Those make me happy. I go, okay, good. I can relax. All right. Let me check a few more things here. The table I'm using here in Paraguay, whenever I touch my mouse, the whole camera moves. See that earthquake thing? That's just me touching my trackball. By the way, don't use a mouse. Use one of these trackballs. It's called let's see. I can't see without my glasses because I'm old. M870. Hang on. Old man Caleb's put on his glasses. M570. Okay, so get one of these. That way you don't have to move your hand or your wrist. You just rest your hand in one place and you just move your thumb and your fingers. Way better, way more efficient. It's better on your wrists, all that crap. Especially if you sit there all day long. I get up and walk around because I can't sit for 8 hours and work. I mean, I can, but it's not good for you. So that's what I do. So get one of those. My suck. What is this, 1984 with your Macintosh? Look at a few comments here before we get started. We'll get started in a few minutes here. And the guy that asked you regularly about finding a niche. Aside from that, my biggest passion is acting, singing. The industry is extremely woke, and I'm not woke at all. What's your advice? My advice is to anyone who does anything artistic, not a good idea. If you want to be an actor, a singer, a comic book artist, a fiction writer, a poet, a painter, these are not paths to high income. I'm very sorry. These should be hobbies or money hobbies on the side. Find something else that you enjoy or at least don't hate. Make money doing that and do art on the side. The odds of you making real money as an artist are not based on skill. They're based on luck, and you can't emulate luck. Looking incredible, man. Thank you. Great to see you beating your own psychology. Well, I'm not there yet. I'm not throwing a party yet. I'm still very big. But yeah, I'm actually wearing, and you don't do this consciously. I start wearing tighter t-shirts. I just started doing this. I'm like, I'm going to wear tighter t-shirts to show up my new muscles. I didn't think that. I started wearing tighter t-shirts and going, yeah, looking good. Oh, fuck yeah, man. So yeah, thank you. It's funny that I've mentioned this before. The gym I'm going to here in Paraguay, it's right down the street. It's the nicest gym probably in the entire country. And it's nicer than the gym I use in Dubai. Dubai's a little higher on the economic scale than Paraguay. I mean, just a little bit, right? But in Dubai, I use the gym that's closest to my house. So it's a cheap, crappy for Dubai, Gold's gym. So I go to this gym every day or 4 or 5 times a week. And I'm sitting here in this gym in Paraguay. I wish my Dubai gym was like this. Pink Firefly, my wife, was going to the gym with her trainer at the local gym we have in our neighborhood. She's now... She surpassed all the stuff there. She's looking fucking ripped as fuck. You'll see her in a video coming up. We'll do a Q&A video with her when we're in Maldives. She's as skinny, lean as I've ever known her since she was in high school. And she's like, she has almost a six pack. She has that shape. And you can see like the muscles in her back. She's looking crazy hot. So she's going to a nice gym now. So she goes to the nice gym. I'm going to the shitty gym. The roles have turned. If possible, obviously located parents is extremely important as to freedom is. What take advice? P.S. Thank you for... Yes, be location dependent. Yes. What are your thoughts on bank accounts in third up-and-coming countries? That's great. Just make sure that you are diversified. You don't put all your money in one thing. I love Paraguay. Would I put 100% of all my money in Paraguay? No, I would not do that. All right. How are we doing on... let's see here. I'll wait one more minute. Uno momento. I'm speaking a lot of Spanish lately. Every time I come back to Paraguay, I learn new words. What did I learn this time? I learned, oh shit, I forgot what I learned. This happens when you're 50 and you try to learn a new language and you're 50. If you want to learn a new language, do it when you're little. Do it when you're in high school. Okay? Don't learn it don't do this when you're 50. It's kind of stupid. What did I learn? God damn it. I have several friends here. This is Sovereign CEO, so I got to keep this G-rated. And then I have my attorneys here and I have a few clients here. And actually today, people arrive today for our Get Residency Paraguay service. So Billy and about 9 people are arriving here today. I'm going to see them on, let's see. They have their first appointment tomorrow. And then I see them on Friday. We do an outing on Saturday, mastermind on Sunday. Then I leave Sunday night. They're here another week. And we're doing it again. If you're on my mailing list, you got the emails about this. We're doing this again, Get Residency Paraguay in July. The deadline to sign up for that is in a week. So it's Sunday. We're doing that again in July, but we need to sign you up now to get paperwork and things like that. And Armenia, too. It's pretty cool. Have a good time. Paraguay's so awesome. Bill the Turkish dude is a classic Lissig. Okay. Are you being mean to other people in the chat? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What's your opinion on Thailand and Cambodia? I like Cambodia much better. Cambodia is a much stronger growth country than Thailand. Thailand is going to grow, but not as fast as other countries in Southeast Asia, minus Laos, which isn't going to grow at all because they like communism. All right. Yeah, let's get started. God, it's been 9 minutes. How is it the time goes by so quickly when I do these fucking live streams, man? I don't get it. All right, let's talk about high income. I have some slides to show you. I got a bunch of stuff to show you. A bunch of stuff to talk about today. And then we'll do a Q&A at the end. I can't stay for super long, but I can stay as long as I'm able. A little busy. First, and then if you have questions as I go along, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll rewind the chat and answer at the end. Okay? I'll be drinking water a lot. As always, I was just on someone's podcast yesterday, and I kept drinking water. I'm like, I'm going to drink water a lot. I have like 7 bottles of water right here. As you know, I recommend an income of $85,000 a year in US dollars. If you have your own business, that is pre-tax net profit. So that is your net profit before you pay taxes. Does that apply to literally everywhere on planet Earth? No, but it applies to most parts of the Western world. And the reason I know that is because I've talked about this many times. They've done numerous scientific surveys on this, scientific studies. If you make less than $85,000 a year in USD, you will be happier if you make at least that. So that is the minimum income I talk about. And I stand by that number. That's the number I recommend. That's the minimum. However, that is the minimum. That is not the maximum, and that might not even be the required or the best number to hit. So first I'm going to give you, before I get into my slides and stuff, I'm going to give you the carrot and the stick. I'm going to give you both reasons why maybe it makes sense to make a lot more than 85,000. I make many multiples of 85,000. I don't even remember when I made 85,000 a year. God, how old was I when I made 85,000 a year? I'm 50 now. I was probably 26. So it's been 25 years since I made anywhere near $85,000. Far as I can remember. So first, let me give you the good reasons, and then let me give you the reasons why you might need to do this even if you don't want to, okay? First, good reasons. Happiness. You're happy when you have more money. I've talked about this many times. People who say money can't buy you happiness, and my parents used to tell this to me all the time. Empirically, scientifically, factually incorrect. I have been poor and I have been high income. I don't consider myself rich. Some of you may consider me that, depending on my income and my net worth. If I gave you the numbers, which I'm not, you go, well, you're rich. I don't think I'm rich. Trust me, I don't. But I am high income. I'm successful. So I've been poor and I've been high income, okay? I promise you, I am way happier and have been way happier with high income than when I was fucking poor. You can't even compare the two things. I remember, I've said this many times, remember being 18 years old, living in an apartment by myself, and I would try to have to figure out how to get to work the next day, how to put gas in my car so I could afford to go to work the next day. I remember this. I remember the feeling like, oh my God. I remember, I talked about this, waiting 4 months. So what's 4 months in terms of days? 90 days, 120 days, 110 days. See, I didn't go to college. Waiting just under 4 months to pay my electric bill because I figured out you could wait up to 4 months before they would shut off your electric bill back where I used to live back in the early 90s, whatever this was. So I would purposely not pay my electric bill because I couldn't afford to until the very last minute. Then I'd have to scramble and pay my bill. And I remember this. I would run down to the electric bill company and have to give them cash and get a receipt and then call the number and say, don't shut off my electricity. I remember this. I remember being at Safeway, which is was grocery store we had up in Portland, Oregon, where I grew up. And, I have no food in my house. My refrigerator's empty, except like some ketchup, right? Some of you can relate to this. And I would buy just enough food to eat dinner that night and handing them my little debit card, or in my case, I had a $300 limit student credit card. I didn't go to college, but I lied on my little thing. Oh, no, I did go to college for 2 weeks. So I was going to college for 2 weeks. I applied for a student Visa card with a $300 credit limit and handing the lady the credit card and watching her swipe it and hoping that the credit card would go through so I could eat that night. I remember living like this, and it sucked. It was terrible. It was awful. It was horrible. It's awful. And so now compare this to today, and not just today. I've been making six figures in 1990s dollars going back since I was 27 years old. This has been most of my adult life. Okay. Most of my life. I'm 50. Just a few years ago, and I never thought I would reach this point. Honestly, I never thought I would actually get to this point of my evolution. A few years ago, I would say maybe 4 years ago. So when I was about 46? That's about right. I stopped caring about how much things cost. Not like if I'm going to buy a house or a car, but just day-to-day things in my life. So I spent age 0 to age 46 stressing out about how much everything costs. So whenever you go, you relate to this. You take your wife or girlfriend, or if you're a woman, your spouse, boyfriend, whatever, out to dinner or something. And then the bill comes, and then you pay it, and you open it up and you look to see what it is. And it's like $82. And you go, oh my God. You have this feeling like, God, $82? Oh, even if it was good food, even had a great time, it ruins your evening because it's $82. And you're like, oh my. And then you gotta put a tip on there. Shit. Now I gotta add fucking $8, $10, another $15. So $96. And you're like, fuck. I went through that my entire life, even after I was successful, even after I was making beyond 100,000 a year. I would still get stressed out and a little upset about how much things cost. Grocery bill, you're checking. I spent most of my life doing this, and most of you are doing this. Today I just buy groceries. Whatever I want, I put in the thing, and I go buy it, and I pay it. I don't look at prices. But up from age 0 to age 46, I would look at the price of every one of them. Well, okay, well, I'll see. Which mustard is cheaper? Oh, this one is 4 cents. I'm going to get this one. Okay, I'll get this one. I don't do that anymore. One day I realized, and it wasn't like I'm going to stop caring about money. It wasn't a conscious decision. I just observed this. One day, I don't remember the exact day this occurred. We went out to dinner, Pink Firefly and I, and the bill came and it was like $200. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay. I got plenty of money. And then that happened a few times. I went, hey, I no longer care about how much shit costs. I would go to the grocery store and just buy whatever I want. If I need to buy something at Target or whatever, I would just buy whatever I want. This webcam that I'm doing this live stream on right now, there's a webcam on top of my little monitor here, okay? I had trouble with the other webcam I was using because you can't adjust. I don't know why the fuck webcams do this. Webcams are stupid because you can't adjust the video settings while you're recording. You can't adjust them at all. Or you have to adjust them before you start recording, which is fucking dumb. So it wouldn't do it. So I ordered a different webcam. It was like top of the line webcam, and it didn't have that feature or it didn't work. So I said, okay, this is just like last year. I said, all right, I'll order the top 5 top of the line webcams. Top 5 top line webcams. I just ordered. I spent hundreds of dollars. I didn't care. It's fine. And I just tried each one, looked for that feature, and finally this was the one that worked in terms of that feature. The other 3 I just put away. I'll probably just throw them away. I don't care. I don't care how much things cost. Do you know how happy that makes you when you don't give a shit about how much things cost? You have so much money. You make so much money. You have so much money in savings, your investments. You just don't worry about these things anymore. Do you understand the percentage of your life you spend worrying about money? Tony Robbins talked about this, 30 years ago in the 80s. You know how much time you spend worrying about money? And you do, and I did. One of the many reasons I got divorced in my first marriage a billion years ago is she would go to the grocery store, and then she'd come home with all these fucking groceries for me and the kids. The kids are little, and she'd show me the receipt. It'd be like $400. Now today it'd be $2,000 thanks to your inflation because you idiots keep voting for Democrats and Republicans like Trump and Biden and people like this. But back then it was like $400. I'm like, oh my God, $400. And then we'd get an argument. Well, God damn, why'd you spend $400? Well, I need to buy this for these kids. Today I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about how much stuff costs in my day-to-day life. I just don't care. When I come travel here, I go on Airbnb and I pick the one I want. I don't look at the price. Don't care about the price. I'm in a nice 2-bedroom apartment here. Now it's Paraguay. Excuse me, I gotta say it right. Paraguay. So it doesn't matter. When I buy clothes, this is a designer t-shirt. What is this? Dolce Gabbana. This t-shirt was probably $200. Don't care. Now I don't buy a lot of shirts. I don't care about my clothes. I don't give a fuck. I just don't care anymore. It's a good thing. And then you can live the lifestyle you want. So my house in Dubai, it's a 4-bedroom house in a neighborhood. It's not in the downtown city. It's out in the suburbs because that's what my wife likes. So she has a dog. It's fine. I don't care. And gated community, the rent is $9,000 a month. I don't care. Now, just a few years ago, I'd be like, $9,000 a month? That's bullshit. I'm not going to, I can't afford that. Now I'm like, okay, sure. Fine. You know how happy that makes me? You know how happy that would make you if you just don't give a fuck? Because if you're making $85,000 a year, you've maxed out that happiness or the unhappiness zone, but you're still worried about money. I promise you, if you're making $85,000 a year, you're making right at that level right now, things still bug you about money, right? You guys in this live stream, you guys watching the recording, think about this. If you make around $85,000 a year in your job, $100,000 a year, $70,000 a year, do you never worry about money? You worry about it all the goddamn time, especially if you're in the collapsing United States or cuckoo Canada or suicidal Europe or authoritarian Australia, where inflation's running rampant, governments are fucking everything up, recessions, okay? Things that I don't even experience living in Dubai and Paraguay. I don't even see these things. Yeah, right? So there's a reason. It's very good. It's a very good thing to have all the money you want. It's kind of nice. I can go on and on that. I got to move on. Next component of this is why you have to do this. Whether or not you want the good stuff, so carrot and stick. So often we're motivated more by negativity than positivity. That's certainly true with me. I'm motivated by positivity, but I'm also motivated heavily by fear. I don't have a lot of fear, but if I don't have any fear, I don't even remember what it would be like to be scared of something. It's been like decades. But I do have this nagging thing in the back of my head. I've mentioned this before on podcasts and things. I had these visions when I was in high school of going to McDonald's with my friend during our lunch break in high school and ordering, double quarter pounder cheese and stuff. And the woman in the drive-through window is like this old lady. She's like this 80-year-old woman. And I remember being in high school going, oh my God, she's worked her whole life. She's in her 80s and she has to work at McDonald's to pay her bills. That's a big fear for me. It's the only fear I have, really, is growing old and having no money. When I was in my 20s, I would work with engineers and other IT consultants back when I was 19 or guys who are in their 50s. Guys are my age now. When I was 25, they were like in their 50s, and they would talk about how they had no money. If they lost their job, they would lose their apartment, get kicked out of their apartment because they have no money. And I would think to myself, guys in their 50s, to me, that's old. So if you're 25, 50 is really old, right? Guys who are old in their 50s, 60s, and they have no money? I mean, I get not having money in your 20s. I get that. That's fine. I didn't have any money when I was in my young 20s, right? Being old. So I am terrified in a way of getting old and having no money. That's so awful. You do not want that, number one. So that's one thing. Second thing, you live in a collapsing civilization. So if this was the 50s, the 60s, maybe the 80s, you could afford to fart around with your life, make an average income, and you might be okay in your retirement, maybe. Is that true now? No. Every year, taxes are going to go up. Real taxes. Taxes you see and taxes you don't see for the middle class. They're going to always cut taxes for super rich people. That's how this works. Rich people run the country. You don't. Okay? So taxes for you, inflation is also going to go up. Crime is going to go up. All these things are going to increase throughout the Western world as the Western world continues to collapse. And you can't stop it. So now, what did I say? I've done several YouTube videos about this. I said, and I'm right, that if you look at the timeline, the United States began to collapse somewhere around 2003-ish. Okay, I am of the strong opinion that future historians will pinpoint the early 2000s, 2000, 2001, 2003, somewhere in there as when the America said, okay, this is when the collapse began, point of no return was hit, boom, okay? Comparable for Europe, although you can't generalize about Europe, a little different. Canada, around the same time zone, okay, 2003-ish, okay? Then in late 2019, early 2020, as I've talked about, the entire Western world entered into a dark age. This is a political dark age, an economic dark age, and a cultural dark age, all three of these things. Not technological dark age, that'll continue to improve. But these three things are going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse every fucking year, regardless of who you put into office, you Trump idiots and you Bernie Sanders idiots. Can't fix it. Okay, I know that makes you happy, but it won't fix a goddamn thing. You should have learned your lesson the last time you brought Trump into the presidency. Did he make America great again? Did he build a wall? Did he bring the manufacturing? Okay, he didn't know that shit. As I said, he would in 2016. Okay, so these things are going to get worse and worse. And as I've said, there are two types of people who will survive, not just survive, but thrive and do well as the Western world collapses. Two types of people who will be okay. And there's only two types. And if you're not one of these two types, you're fucked. Okay, you're fucked if you're not in one of these two categories. And I mean that in many cases, literally, in terms of the suicide rate's gone up, the drug use has gone up, all these things. You're in big trouble if you're not in one of these two categories. Starting 2 years ago, we've entered into this dark age now. I don't know how long it's going to last. You can't tell the future, okay? Unless your name is Peter Zeihan, he knows exactly when things are going to occur down to the exact year. But other than Peter Zeihan, you cannot predict the future in terms of exact timing. I don't know how long this will take, but I know it'll be a long, many years, if not decades. Okay. The only two types of people who will thrive and be okay during this collapsing era is, number one, men who are hyper flexible. Hyper flexible. You're very flexible. If you say, I would never move to Paraguay, ew, you're fucked because you're not hyper flexible. You better be in the second category, which we're going to cover in a second. Hyper flexible means you can be happy regardless of anywhere in the world you live, regardless of the conditions under which you live. If you live in a mansion, you're happy and you don't feel weird about it. Because some of you guys are the opposite of, you're scared of success instead of scared of failure. You're happy in a little studio apartment, but you don't want to make a lot of money because you want to be one of those asshole rich people like Elon Musk. He's an asshole. I don't want to be like that. Horrible attitude to have. So you can live in a mansion and be perfectly happy. You can live in a tiny studio apartment, as long as it's clean and safe, and be perfectly happy. That's me. Okay? Hyper flexible. Anywhere in the world, under any conditions. You could be single, be very happy. You can be with a hot girlfriend, be very happy. Doesn't matter. You're hyper flexible. That's the first category. And if you're not hyper flexible, and most people aren't, most people today are not hyper flexible. They're very, very picky about exactly how they want their life. And you could afford to be that a long time ago. Not now. Sorry. Okay. So if you're not hyper flexible, you better be in the second category. The second category is, you ready for this? Some of you know this. Wealthy. Now, wealthy meaning you have a net worth of at least $10 million. Okay? That's what wealthy means. That's my definition of the word wealthy. If you're a millionaire, that doesn't mean anything. Back in the 80s, if you were a millionaire, you were rich. Today, if you have $1 million, $2 million, you're middle class, bro. In some cases, you're not even high middle class. You're middle class. That doesn't mean shit. You got $1 million, or you have a paid off house. It's worth $1 million. That's your only asset. And you have a job. Sorry. Better off than the guys who make no money. So I'm not trying to be an asshole about this. I'm just giving you the realities of this. $10 million or more. And you could say, well, what if you're not worth 10 million, but you make you make 700,000 a year? We could have all kinds of weird debates and mathematical debates about this. You get my point. A lot of fucking money. That way, you don't have to be hyper flexible. Now you'll be okay. As I've said, Bill Gates will be fine if and when the United States collapses. He'll be okay. He'll still have billions of, even if he loses 80% of his wealth, he'll be fine. I just mentioned earlier, Mark Zuckerberg just blew $26 billion on this stupid metaverse thing that isn't going to work now. Do you think it really bugs him in terms of his finances? He doesn't care. It's fine. Okay. So hyper flexible or wealthy. So guess what is a good way to protect you against this stuff? Making a lot of goddamn money. Making a $250,000 income, $500,000 income, $750,000 income, $1.3 million income, $2, $3, $4 million a year in income. You'll be okay if you're making that kind of money. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, the ultra pinnacle of this is, I got to be careful what I say because I can't talk about my personal finances. You're both. You're wealthy, okay, super high income, and you're hyper flexible. Now you're covered. You're double protected. Okay, pretty awesome. So I'm going to talk to you now about how to get there from zero to the high income, way past $85,000 a year. And what I would consider to be high income would be, essentially a question, what do I consider high income? God, at least $250,000 a year. Even that's not that great anymore. So $250,000 a year is $20,000 a month. That's okay. I mean, that's fine. Really, it's $500,000, $500,000 a year. You make $500,000 or more, you're high income, in my view. You make $250,000 a year, you're good. You're not high income though, because, and again, you're thinking, oh my God, $20,000 a month. If I made $20,000, I'd be so rich. I used to think that myself. I used to think $20,000 a month, I'd be so rich. I've talked about this when I was 19, thinking, I made $50,000 a year. Now it was 1990s dollars, so maybe it's the equivalent of what, $90,000. $90,000 a year, I'd be so rich. Oh my God, no. Especially with inflation, and and as you get older, your tastes will modify a little bit, and especially if you settle down and get a significant other, a wife someday. Wives, even the type of wives I have, OLTR wives, they cost a little more money. They raise the lifestyle prices a little bit. So, and eventually, most of you will do this if you're guys. Anyway. So let me talk about that. Let me pull up a slide here. Let me make sure I don't fuck this up. Hang on. Let's see. Let's do that. Okay. So this is, it says it right there. Income curve of the typical person over a person's working lifetime. So right here, can you see the mouse? Yeah, you can see the mouse. Right here is age 18-ish. Well, historically used to be 18. Back in the good old days, men, when they're 18, would go out in the world and start to work or go to school. Today, you got guys who are like, 30 and they still haven't really got to work yet. Good job, millennials. Good job, Gen Z. That's great. Okay, so anyway, this is when the person starts working full-time for reals. And this is when the person dies or retires. Well, retirement occurs right here. So if you look at the statistics, this is how it works. Early on in a person's career, the first 10, 15 years, the income growth is pretty high because you're going from zero to your income, right? So for most people, there's a big spike. And then you reach a point around age 35-ish or so, okay, depends on the person, where your income just kind of stagnates and slowly grows. You can see there's a slow upward growth of this line. Slowly grows. You get, raises. You get a new job, and now you make another $4,000 a year. Ooh, great. So exciting. And then you do that until you peak out your income around your 50s, okay? And then what happens is you retire, or you get bored, or you get sick or hurt, you can't work, and then your income goes to nothing. Goes very low because now you're retired, okay? That's the typical human being. Make sense? Let's see. I want to double check that we're okay over here. We are. Okay. So now, let me show you my income curve. And this is literal. This is my income curve from when I started working. I started working, really started working part-time when I was about 14 years old because my family didn't have any money and what money they had, they wouldn't give me. So I had to go out my ass and make my own money. So I started working part-time when I was 14. I got my first real job, corporate job, 40-hour-a-week job, 4 or 5 days before my 19th birthday in the IT sector. This is back in 1991. Yeah, somewhere in there. All the way to now. So this is age 18-ish to age 50 for me. Okay? It looks a little different. So first, yes, I had this initial run-up when I was young. Okay. I worked at a software company. I worked at a corporate bank. I worked for Nike. It slowly grew my income up a little bit and finally got to a point. And then it kind of peaked out a little bit. Okay. And then I had what I call a scaling event. And look what happened to my income. All of a sudden, boom, it went up like this. I'm like, whoa, what the hell happened? This is great. I'm so rich. This is awesome. And I expected the income just go all the way up. But it didn't. Instead, my income stagnated again. Well, I said, well, this sucks. Now it's stagnating at a higher level, which is kind of cool. But I'm like, well, I want a big money, and this sucks. And so I would try some things and try some things and try some things. Didn't work. And then one day, all of a sudden, boom, it would go up again. I'm like, whoa, just all of a sudden, like within 8 months, it would double, it would go crazy or something like that. I'm like, oh my God. I would make like, $40,000 over one weekend. Oh my God, that's as much as I used to make in a year. Holy shit. Now I'm just going to be a billionaire. This is great, but that's not what happened. Instead, it languished again. And it's interesting because what the concept I'm explaining to you right now, I have never seen explained anywhere else the entire internet or in any book. For some reason, I'm the only guy. I'm not sure why this is to talk about this, but this is how this works in terms of high income. So then I'm like, okay, try this, language, and I get depressed, not depressed, but I get pissed off and frustrated. Oh, it didn't work. This didn't work. And boom, make a giant spike in income again. Oh, this is great. So then that's great. So I'm excited, but then it stagnates again. And then something else happens and boom, it goes up again. Cool. And then it stagnates again. And I'm working and trying to get it up higher and nothing happens, nothing works. And I'm like, God damn it. What the hell's going on? Boom, it goes up again. This is great. Okay. And so I'm about here right now, I'm actually right about here, right about that. Okay. Now these little lines, this is an important point. These little teeny tiny lines here are things I tried that didn't work. And that's a key point. So once I got here, this big income burst, I'm like, oh, awesome. I'm going to make even more now. So I'm going to do this. And it didn't work. I'm like, shit. All right, maybe try this. This will work. This will make me a billionaire. I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to buy a Lamborghini and be cool like Andrew Tate. This is back when I was young and stupid. And I'm going to do this. Oh, it didn't work. Shit. So I'm going to try this. Oh, it didn't work. God damn. So I tried something. Boom, it works. Or maybe I don't even try something new. Maybe I do a variation of this And when I'm trying a variation of this occurs. Scaling event. And then same thing, try a bunch of things here, try a bunch of things here, didn't work. So all these are lines of things that didn't work. Most people, especially most men today in the collapsing left-wing, lazy, drug-addicted, beta male collapsing Western world, most men try one thing, it doesn't work, well, that doesn't work, and they go back to their job. Or they go back to, being an Uber driver. And you're like, hey, why don't you try? Well, I tried that once, it didn't work. It's not how life works. You try something doesn't work, then you do something else. You try that, doesn't work, do something else. Try that, holy shit, it works. Bam, scaling event. So this is how my income has gone. And I'm not going to tell you how much money I make. I've given hints before. There are many reasons, about 4 or 5, mostly legal reasons. I don't talk about how much money I make. So you just have to guess. But I could give you examples. You might say, well, Caleb, what were the things you did here that spiked your income? Let's see if I can remember this. So right here is when I started doing consulting. Right here is, I think, when I started doing ebook launches, I think. Right here is when I started doing licensing. Licensing's the shit. Never talked about that publicly. Right here is when I started doing online courses. Right here is when I started doing coaching programs like the 90-Day Business Builder and the 500K Business Accelerator, things like that. There's a few other spikes that I didn't put in here. This is not actually to scale, but just give you some ideas. But again, I want to repeat, as I tried to get these things that worked, I tried 2, 3, 4, 5 things that did not work. I mean, I tried something a few years ago that cost me so much goddamn money, didn't work at all. Last year or year before, what's something I tried recently that completely failed? I sold NFTs last year, failed, didn't work. Now I'm still going to do it. I learned a lot, but that's one of the lines that didn't work. NFTs didn't work. Okay. So did I go, well, this is bullshit, I'm going to go get a job then? Or did I say, well, this is bullshit, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing forever? No, you can't keep doing what you're doing forever. They just invented fucking applicable AI. A lot of you are going to be out of a job in about a year or two because you're going to do the same thing you're doing. You're not going to change. When you live in a collapsing area, you have to change. You have to change, okay? I don't wear the same clothes I wore in the 80s, even though I want to. You have to change with the times. Cool? Cool. Okay. All right. We talk about the difference between $85,000 a year, which is what we typically teach here at Sovereign CEO, and $500,000 plus per year, because again, $500,000 I consider high income. Now, $500,000 is just too big of a number for you to wrap your brain around. Insert some other number that turns you on. Maybe it's $200,000 a year. Maybe it's $300,000 a year. Maybe it's a monthly income goal. Maybe it's $20,000 a month, $25,000 a month, whatever it is. Okay. So I just consider this at $500K plus a year, going up to low 7 figures. Here they are. Number 1, and there's no particular order. These are all required. There's about 10 things. You have to do all 10 of these things. Okay. This is big, and this is something a lot of people don't understand. You have to sacrifice things you don't want in order to get it. And if you don't want to sacrifice those things, you won't make that income. You don't need to do this, item number 1, if you want to make $85,000. Not really. You have to sacrifice a lot of your life to make $85,000, especially if you join like the Business Builder program we have or things like that. You have a template you can just follow. It's not that hard. It's not like a huge sacrifice to go from 0 to 85,000 location dependent. It's not that tough. It isn't for most human beings. However, you want to get to the big money, you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to sacrifice things that you want that you can't do because you want this more. I've mentioned this before. It has been about 2.5 years, maybe 3. God, it's been 3 now since I have touched a video game. And I'm a nerd. I've been playing video games since most of you watch this video were alive in the early 1980s. I haven't touched a video game in 2.5 years. 3 years? And I don't like it. It sucks. But you know what? You know what I want more? I want the cash. Give me the cash. I want the cash more. When I hit my income goal, I'm not going to tell you what that is. I have a very specific after-tax monthly income goal. When I hit that goal, I also have a after-tax, if you're curious, I have an after-tax monthly residual income goal from my investments, which based on my net worth and other things. When I hit those 2 goals, hopefully by the time I'm 54, I got 3.5 more years to do this. Then I'll play all the goddamn video games I want. Okay. But right now I got to work. I got to get to work and build that income to hit my goal. That's how I do this. Okay. There are things that I could do in my woman life right now that I choose not to because they take too much time. I got to work. I got to focus on my work. I would love to do more physical fitness stuff. I would love to spend a lot more time in the week doing physical fitness stuff, doing physical fitness challenges, and you do like a 7-day desert survival course. You can do a polar, survival course in the ice and David Goggins type stuff. That stuff sounds so fucking awesome. I don't have time. I need to focus on this. So I'm sacrificing things I want to do for the big goal of the big income. Okay. Ultra high income must be a must. This is another big thing. The reason most guys, or a lot of guys, never hit the high income is because it's not required. So several times in my life, and I learned this from Tony Robbins again, a long time ago, he said one of the key deciding factors for high income men is that they put themselves in scenarios where high income is a must. Not, oh, that would be nice to make 500,000. No, I have to do it. That's why I just got done talking to you about you're in a collapsing Western world. A lot of you aren't going to make it out of here without making that kind of money. There you go. They make it a must. Several times in my life, I put myself in scenarios where I made the income a must. I lit a fire under my own ass to make sure I hit that income. And if you just have this thing, well, it would be nice if. A lot of you think about that in 5 flags. Well, it'd be nice if I moved to another country. It'd be nice if I could be like Caleb and, go to Paraguay and have an apartment down there. And that'd be nice. You're not going to take action on it if it would be nice. You're like, I need to have this happen. Both the pieces of my life where I've been successful, my business life and my woman life, in both those scenarios, I was in scenarios many years ago where I said, this must occur. Must. Not it would be nice if. These must happen or I will die. I will not live like this. In my financial life, I will not grow up poor like I was when I was a little kid. When I was 18, I will not live my life like this. For some reason, and I don't understand the psychology, there is an entire swath of humanity in the Western world who are poor or financially strapped, and they don't mind it. They just put up with it for decades. They live like I just talked about, where they pay their electric bill 3 months late and they have trouble paying their bills. They live like that for 25 years, and they just keep putting up with it. I don't understand that. I don't know. That's just not the way my brain's wired. I have a lower threshold for pain. When I have no money, I hate it, and I need out of it. I felt the same way after my divorce in my woman life. I am not going to go through life, going without sex, or B, dating average women and getting an average girlfriend and then having her break up and me being a beta and crying and off topic for this. But you see my point? It was, this must occur. I must have an abundant, amazing woman life, period. I will not live like that. I will not live the other way. It was a must for me. So you got to make this a must, either logistically or mentally or both in your life. You have to do it. Check the technology. Are we still good? Cool. Okay. Number 3, your time management skills must be good. They don't have to be amazing, but they have to be good. You can make $85,000 a year, $150,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $60,000 a year with shitty time management skills or no time management. You can. I see people do this all the time. They're a mess. Shit's constantly not getting done. They're stressed out, but they make the money. You want to make the big money? You've got to get good at time management. That is one of the skills I call a leverage skill, where you learn one skill and it improves all the areas of your life. Your business life, your family life, your woman life, your social life, your spiritual life, all the other aspects get improved by learning this one skill. And one of those key skills is time management. You learn time management, everything else improves. So that's the other benefit. But I'm saying that time management must also be a must if you want to hit the high income levels. You have to be good at time, not amazing. You don't have to be a maniac like me where I time everything and have all these detailed spreadsheets of exactly where I spend my time every day and blah, blah. You don't have to go that far. That would be time management is amazing. My time management is amazing. On a scale of 1 to 10, my time management is usually a 10. Sometimes it drops down to a 9, 9.5. If something doesn't get done, it's because I purposely don't do it. It's not because, I forgot about that. So that's it. You must learn time management as a skill set if you want to be good at this stuff. If you want to make the money. It's required. Number 4 is a big one for a lot of people. You need to know how to manage and hire people. And that is not a very fun skill. It's not. I don't like that. It's not enjoyable. But most of you watch this video and go like, I don't want to hire and manage people. Fuck that. You're right, you don't. Do you want the big money or not? You're not going to make $500,000 a year, $1 million a year by yourself. You're not. Now they contrast that. You can make 85,000 by yourself. You can. Oh, I did it. I did way more than that. You could do you could get 200,000. Maybe to 200,000 by yourself. Maybe, God, maybe. You'd have a really rough life, but you could do it. 100,000, sure. Especially you don't care how many hours a week you work, we're long hours. You could do it. You want the big money, you're going to need a lot of help. Other people have to help you, which means you know how to find those people and manage those people. Or if you already have the big money, you can do what I do, have someone like Billy hire and manage the people for you, for example. But even then, I still have to manage people. Even if Billy manages most of the people, I still have to manage other people, including Billy and other people, right? You have to learn that as a skill set if you want the big income. If you're like, I don't want to do that, well, then you're going to make 85,000 a year. And I hope you survive the collapse of your civilization. I hope. Number 5, focus on cash, not followers. I have mentioned this before. Some of you heard me talk about this. I'll just summarize this very quickly. As of this moment, I have 9,000-ish YouTube followers on my Sovereign CEO channel. I have about 2,500 followers on my Alpha Male 2.0 channel, which means I am a pussy on YouTube. When people look at my YouTube channel, they laugh because I have no followers. Okay, right? They then assume that I make no money. I make off those 2 YouTube channels a strong 6-figure income stream from just a few thousand followers. I just did a podcast with somebody yesterday. Not going to tell you his name. I could, but I won't. You'll find out soon, I guess. He has about 2,100 YouTube followers. Let's see. How much money did he make last year? He makes 7 figures. 7 figures. I think he makes more than $2 million a year. 2,000 YouTube followers. And unlike me, that's his only source. Online is his only source of income. I have other companies that have nothing to do with online. Online is his only source of income. But if you looked at his YouTube, you'd say, what a loser. I'm not going to listen to this guy. He doesn't know anything. He has 2,000 followers. Followers does not equal cash. Let me give you the inverse. I have some women in my personal life. No details. Go to my other channel if you want details on that. Who have millions, and I mean this, millions of Instagram followers, and they don't make shit for money. People go, oh, wow, this person has 3 million Instagram followers. She must be making bank. Nope. Not making shit. Not making shit. Making some, not making shit. I know some men in that category too. I just thought of a guy I know, okay, on a certain huge social media platform, maybe 2 of them. Millions of followers, doesn't make shit for money. Doesn't make shit. In a Instagram world, in a Gen Z world, everyone focuses on followers and not income. Focus on income and not followers. Focus on income and not followers. I have said many times, I want the minimum number of followers to hit my income goals. I don't want a lot of followers. I don't want a lot of people to know who I am. I want to be just famous enough to hit my income and no more than that. That's it. I'm an introvert. I don't want this stuff. I just want the cash. I don't want the recognition. I don't care about those things. That's not my personality. Now, if you want the recognition, great, do that. You get my point. Okay. Number 6, and I could do a whole live stream on this. I should probably talk about this over my Alpha 2.0 channel. You can't have a completely screwed up personal life to hit these big numbers. You can't. I didn't say you have to have a perfect personal life. I didn't say you can't have any problems in your personal life. You can't have a completely fucked up personal life. If you're a hardcore alcoholic, you've got to figure that out to get these big, you won't get to these big income levels. If you're a hardcore drug addict, you've got to resolve that. If you have a horrible marriage or you're living with someone and the relationship is toxic and just awful, you need to end it. Sorry, I did it. If I did it, you can do it. Okay. What else? You got horrible problems with your kids. Your kids are in and out of jail, or your kids, I know a woman, oof. Welcome to Collapsing USA. I know a woman who has several kids. She has a son who is 13, and he just impregnated an 11-year-old girl out on the playground. Okay, you have those kind of problems, you got to resolve that shit. Whatever you got to do. And this is off topic for this live stream, this training. You can't have a completely screwed up personal life. You just can't. You can have problems, yes. Okay, yes. If you look like, here's the one. If you look like, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, you're like 800 pounds, you got to deal with that. You got to fix your personal shit. Clean up your personal shit. Oh, here's another one. You're depressed or you're bipolar or you have extreme Asperger's, not a little bit. I don't say you're on the spectrum. That's okay. You have real problems. You got to figure this shit out. Get the therapy, get the whatever you got to get. Okay. I'm just telling you, life is hard enough without these problems. You got to clean this shit up. And again, if all you want is $85,000 a year, you can reach $85,000 a year, $100,000 a year with a fucked up person. You can. I've seen it. I know plenty of people who are at the $100,000 a year level who have fucked up personal lives. Sure, it's fine. Do I know people who make 7 figures who have fucked up personal lives? No. Matter of fact, that was surprising to me when I broke into these income levels. I'm not telling you how much I make. Maybe I make $1 a year. But that surprised me when I started meeting more and more people at the 7-figure income level. Almost all of them to a T have pretty even keeled personal lives. If they're single, they have a vibrant dating life, or they have a girlfriend they like. If they're married, their marriage is good. If they have kids, the kids are good. They're okay. You know, they're not, 600 pounds overweight. They're not drinking every night. I'm not saying they don't have problems. They have problems. Most of them are beta males. Okay, I'm not saying they don't have problems, but they're okay. Okay. No. Number 7. I've ranted about this 10,000 times. You got to market. You have to put a priority on marketing, hardcore marketing. If you make this amazing product and you spend years developing this amazing thing, and then you don't market, or you market half-assed, you'll go out of business and you'll never make this kind of money, period. Now, you also want quality products, especially if you want a business that lasts a long time. If you want to make a hunk of money and then you want to make $1 million or $2 and then just vanish off the face of the earth, then I guess you can sell shitty products and be a really good marketer. I guess that's possible. But if you want a long-term business that will take care of you for the next several decades during the collapse of the Western world, high-quality products, but hardcore marketing. Both, not one or the other. And most of you, if you're smarter, if you're a LISIG, if you're a college graduate, if you're an engineering type, you're not going to like marketing. You want to focus on the product side because that's more fun for you. That's not what makes the money. Got to do that too. You got to focus on hardcore marketing. Okay. Oh my God. Number 8. We talk a lot of this in the Business Builder program. Sell what your niche wants, not what you want. Most entrepreneurs fail, in my opinion, because they go into business selling what they want and not what the marketplace wants. Instead, you reverse that. You go out in the marketplace, you find a narrow niche. We teach this in the Business Builder program. Find a narrow niche, narrow it down as low as you can, determine the problem that niche has, I should say, and then come up with, develop, or find a product information service that helps alleviate that problem. Now you'll make money. Now you may not be super excited about that problem or that niche as you were about selling fish art, which is my favorite example. I used to know years ago, I walked by this store, it was selling fish art. And I said, they'll go out of business in 3 months, and they were. Okay, that was a passion project. Your business, if you want to make this kind of income, is not a passion project. But Caleb, they say do what you're passionate about. That's bullshit. Sorry, it's bullshit. If you did what you're passionate about, you play video games all day. Would you make money? No. Okay, right. It helps to be passionate. It helps, yes. Not denying that. Takes more than that, though. Number 9, I talk a lot of this in my Alpha 2.0 content. You must have an internal locus of control, not an external. That is, locus is where the catalyst of where your feelings are from. Instead of you look at the outside world and say the outside world sucks and these problems are the outside world's fault and everything's this, and if I only had a better mom, if I only lived in a better country, if my boss wasn't an asshole, if my girlfriend didn't dump me, these are all external issues. I don't think that way. Everything in my life is my fault. I teach this in my other content. Everything in my life is my fault. It all comes from me, including things that are bad, including things that are good. It's my fault I did that. So if I have a problem, guess whose fault it is? Guess whose responsibility it is to clean it up? Me. I look in the mirror and I say, this is my fault. This is my problem. It doesn't matter if someone on my team was the problem. It doesn't matter if someone else in my life fucked up. It doesn't matter if the economy crashed. It wasn't my fault. It's my problem. I have to fix this. That's why I am not a slave to the collapsing Western world like most of you are. I'm not, because I focused on what I wanted and my solution instead of, well, if I vote for Donald Trump, then he'll fix this. And, okay. If I spend a lot of time on Twitter yelling at woke people, then no. That's why I don't get involved in politics either. The entire concept, by the way, of politics is external locus of control. If I scream at people I don't like on the internet, if I vote for certain people I like, that will somehow fix my life. No, it won't. It'll just make you more angry, and you won't make a goddamn penny unless politics is your business. If politics is your business, get out of politics. I talked about this 3, 4, 5, I forget. A few years ago, I went through my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, okay, that I used to view YouTube videos. And I didn't unsubscribe, but I went through every political channel I was following. I was following a lot. And I said, don't show this channel on my feed. So when I go to my feed now, I see no political content. How is it helpful for you? It's not. Okay? It just increases your external locus of control. It's toxic. Now, again, I've said this before. If you make all the money you want to make already, I'm not sure why you're here then do whatever you want. You want to make the big money, guess what? You have to control what comes in and focus on yourself as the catalyst for everything in your life. I am the 100% catalyst for everything in my life. Doesn't matter where else the problem occurs in my life, even if it's other people. Okay? Oh, number 10. Can you see number 10? Yeah, you can see number 10. There's a reason this is in all caps. Fucking patience. Did I make the money I make as soon as I started my business when I was 18 years old? No. I had to bust my ass for 10 years to get to the $100,000 a year level. For 10 years. Well, no, it didn't take me 10 years. I was 27. It took me 9 years. Okay? 9 years of not going out with my friends. 9 years of mostly not, for about half the time, not dating anyone. Of working long hours, working all day at my job, then going home and doing more work on my own businesses, then working on weekends. For 9 years, I was patient. This online company was started from a blog, a dating blog for men. I started back in 2009. I made 3 blog posts every week. 3 blog posts every week without fail for a year and a half before I started making any real money. Because I was something that most of you aren't. I was patient. Today, in our Instagram, Twitter, social media, low attention span, Gen Z, millennial, fucked up, collapsing civilization, everybody wants their shit right now. They want it right now. How can I make $1 billion right now? I'm exaggerating. How can I make a business that makes $5,000 a month right now without me working very hard like the next 2 weeks? Caleb, how do I do that? You can't. And then worse, you have people, well-meaning people, guys like Alex or Mosey, who come on and they go, oh my God, this guy was making $30 million a year by the time he was 26. Well, then I can do that. So how do I make $36 million a year by the time I'm 26? Okay, he is not only a statistical outlier, he is an outlier of outliers. Okay, you have to be patient. You don't get this tomorrow morning. You don't get this next month, especially if you're very young and starting from zero. You have to be patient. By the way, the corollary to this is that's why you have to start this now. Okay, makes sense. Oh, I could go a lot about that. I won't. Jesus. Let me see here. Let me check my screen. So I could talk about one of 2 things right now, then we'll get to your questions. Let me think about how I want to do this. Hang on a sec. Let me get my screens in order here. I should play the Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. Okay, so really fast. If you're on my mailing list, you already know this. We're doing a Business Accelerator challenge right now where you're getting, 9, 10 videos from me of pure content. These are not the Vanity Business Builder videos. These are different videos how to optimize your life and get to the high income. The actual challenge starts tomorrow. You got the warm-up videos already. If you want those, go to calebjones.com and download the Location Independence Toolkit and opt into the list. You'll get those free videos over the next week. So right now, I'll cover this really quick. I'm going to cover this in 2 pieces. So how do I cover this? Hang on a sec. I've never actually done it this way. So I'm trying to figure out, if you're curious why I'm hesitating, I'm trying to figure out how to present this to you in a way that makes sense. So I've never done it this way. So yeah, let me just do it this way. Real quick, and then I'm going to get to your questions. We have a program called the 500K Business Accelerator where you work with us one-on-one coaching. This is not group stuff for an entire year. We developed this program specifically because so many of you asked us to do it. You wanted more one-on-one coaching and that I wasn't offering. And that's what this program is. And this program is open for another, I think, week and a half. Okay. Really quick. This program is expensive. This program is well over $15,000. Okay. If you go, oh my God, I can't. So hang on. Here's what I've done. If you can't afford that, or you're hesitant to do that, I'm going to tell you really quick a thing in a second where you can get in on it for less than $200 next week. Okay. So hang with me for a second and then I'll cover that. So this is a new thing we're trying. This is actually my team's idea. It's a really good idea. So I'll cover this, how this goes. So first, this program, this is at 500k.io. Matter of fact, let me put the banner on. No, I don't want it that way. Hang on. Boop, boop, boop. Show. 500k.io, that's this website here. When you sign up, here's what you get. The first thing you get as soon as you sign up is every course, book, webinar I have ever done. It's about $13,000 worth of stuff. It almost pays for the entire program you just signed up for. And everything else is free. You get that as soon as you sign up, and it's yours forever. No matter what happens, it's yours forever. Okay? And I list all the courses here. It's a lot. Next, for the following year, every new course or book or webinar I come out with that costs money, you automatically get for free. No matter what it is. Not coaching program, but video course, book, webinar that costs money, anything. We just literally, if you remember the 500K program, we just hand it to you. We just give it to you for free. So for an entire year, in addition to the stuff you just got. Then you get 26, there's more than that, one-on-one coaching sessions over the next year with a menu of coaches who are specialists in my business. We have tax specialists. We have time management specialists. We have wellness specialists. We have fitness specialists. We have, by the way, all the people are experts in their area. We have several business location dependent specialists, Billy included. Billy makes high six figures, location dependent. She's one of the coaches. I am one of the coaches. You can have coaching with me. I'll talk about that in a second. And we have a curriculum we have a specific structure that we laid out in terms of the curriculum, but that's just recommended. You may say, I don't want to do this. I want to focus on my business, or I want to focus on my time management, or I want to focus on my, my morning routine. I want to focus on my mission. Whatever it is, I want to focus on my 5 flags. We cover all that stuff in this program. Okay, your entire life. You also get, I got to fix that, an entire year of the UMS program. It's not called SMIC anymore. You get that for free. It's part of the program. You're automatically enrolled in that program. You get an additional 4 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. That's an addition to the 26. Plus you get more. I'll talk about that in a second. You also get a full 5 flag strategy session with me, even if it takes a few hours. We go through your entire life, all your finances or your goals, what business you have, what business you want to start. And we lay out an entire 5 flags program for you in terms of residencies you want to get, passports, where you want to base your businesses, anything I can do to help you. We go through that entire thing. That's part of this program. We have 12 monthly Q&A conferences, 1 a month throughout the year. It's a year-long program. So once a month, you have a Q&A conference. And that's, I think Jeff does those. Oh, no, Billy does those. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. I have so many programs I get mixed up. You have those. You have accountability meetings with Jeff. You also have a consultation with a testosterone doctor. I have 2 doctors I work with. You can pick one, okay? And they will work with you. If you're a woman, they will still work with you on your estrogen. Women can sign up for this program. This is not an alpha male program. This is Sovereign CEO. So man, woman, doesn't matter, okay? You will get a full consultation and analysis from a qualified tax attorney, international tax attorney. So we have one attorney for Americans, North Americans, and another attorney for non-Americans, if you're actually international, or if you're an American and you live abroad like me. Full consultation. This would be hundreds of dollars. It's free for this program, okay? Because I pay for all this. You have an in-person gala dinner and mastermind once a year, and we just did this in Las Vegas. We had about 20 guys. We raced ATVs. We went to the belly dancers. They did karaoke at night. I should show pictures. It was awesome. We just did this 2 weeks ago. That's where I was. I was in Vegas doing the gala for the 500K program. Then I was in Portland visiting family for about a week, and I came back to Parkland. So you do that once a year. And that's, by the way, it's paid. So you pay for your hotel and your plane ticket, all the events we pay for. Private members only. It's not a Discord group, actually. It's a membership. You have actually are in our base camp, very similar to the Business Builder program, where we have support for you there. Round the clock support. You also get the Colby A index test and the Myers-Briggs test. These are the corporate version of those tests. Okay. And then you can have optional group only sessions of people in the group. A big part of the value of programs like this is the other people in the program you learn from. You'll learn from other people in the program. You will never learn from any of the coaches. Although you'll learn off of the coaches too. Okay. Deadline to enroll is, it's on this website. About a week and a half from now. I forget off the top of my head. You have about a week and a half to enroll. Now, this is an expensive program. It is tax deductible. So when you pay it, you can deduct it off your taxes. It is well more than $15,000, well more than that. So here's what we're doing this time around. Hang on a second. This is a cool idea that actually Jeff had. What we're doing is, this is a test. See if the logo's in the way. I apologize. Can I move that? Shit. How about this? God damn it. All right, we'll just do this. Optimize your life's workshop. That's what that says. Here's what I'm going to do. I understand that something like this might be intimidating. So if you want like a sliver of this program for very little money, here's what I'm going to do. Next week, excuse me, I'm going to do a workshop. It's not going to be one of these webinars. It's going to be 3 or 4 hours long. And I go through the entire first workshop of the 500K program. And it's $197. That's it. Okay. And if you don't make it live, we will send you the recording. So you get the content no matter what. And that way, if you decide to sign up for the 500K program, here's what's cool. You do the 197 workshop next week. Even if you can't make it, you'll get the content. If you then want to sign up for the 500K program, we will give you $1,000 off the program. So you spend less than $200, but we give you $1,000 off. Once you go to the workshop, you're like, hell yes, this is for me. I want in, $1,000 off. Cool? Cool. Let me describe this workshop. 3-hour live workshop that is normally part of my $20,000 programs. It is, literally. This is the exact same workshop that I've given in these programs with no changes whatsoever. It's the same thing. If you can't attend the live workshop, that's okay. We will send you the video recording. So don't think, I'm about to tell you what time and date it is, but if you can't make it, you can still sign up for it, and we'll send it to you. It is 1 p.m. EST Wednesday, March 22nd. That is next week. That is a week from tomorrow, week from Wednesday. Okay. That is not the typical Tuesdays because I will be traveling. I'll be on a plane next Tuesday. So that's what it is. But if you can't make it, that's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll send the video. You will work from a 32-page PDF workbook, the same exact workbook I use in these programs. These workbooks have taken me years to develop. It is my best stuff. It is stuff I don't talk about publicly. It is stuff I don't talk about in any other program. The 500K program is the elite. It's the people who are serious. So I talk about stuff in this program I don't talk about anywhere else in any other book. I don't talk about on YouTube. I don't talk about anywhere. Period in the store. I don't. I say my best stuff for this program because you earned it. Okay. Here's what we're going to cover in the workshop. How to double your income while doubling your time off, which I have done. I've done it more than once. It's not bullshit. Brian Tracy, my mentor, said, Caleb, you can double your income, double your time off. I said, oh, come on. That's bullshit. Come on, man. Yes, you can. Literally. How to optimize your sleep. I check my sleep every morning with my Oura ring right here. I get a sleep rating of 96. Most human beings get a sleep rating of about 60. My sleep is perfect. Why do you think I have so much energy? I'm so happy. My skin looks so good. Optimizing your daily energy. Do I look low energy to you? No. I have more energy than men I know who are teenagers or in their 20s. Most men I know in their 20s, I have more energy than they do. The vast majority. I show you how to do it. Optimize your skin appearance. Talk about that. Anti-aging. How to develop a morning routine without it being 4 or 5 or 6, 7 hours to doing cold plunges and all that BS. Okay. How to formulate a personal mission. Get a lot of questions about this. There is actually a tool in this workshop that I talk about on how to formulate your mission that I've never talked about anywhere else in any other content anywhere. Only in this program. Okay. I save it for this. Your vision, long-term goals, quarterly goals, weekly activity goals, how to structure all that. Hormonal management, cover testosterone, HCG, okay, anti-aging stuff, energy stuff, we cover all that stuff. Developing your own personal scorecard, I'm really big on those. That's another thing I don't talk about publicly on all my, I think, any other content, just this program. The 5 types of work and how to leverage them. See, you think, those of you who are familiar with my content, you read my book, Then Shame Man, you think there's 2 types of work. IW and SW, there's actually 5. This is advanced level shit. There's actually 5 kinds because there's 2 subtypes of each. 2 and then 3. We cover that. Okay. Optimizing your week. We go through all that in this full workshop. The link to sign up for this workshop was broken a little bit ago, and my staff is fixing it right now. So if you're watching the recording of this, it'll be in the description of this video. Okay. If not, then comment and ask. If you're watching the live thing, I don't have it at the moment. Matter of fact, when we're doing the Q&A, I will go check. And if I have it ready, I will paste it in the chat. Okay. It wasn't working right. I didn't want to give it to you. If it wasn't working 100%, I didn't want to give it to you guys. I want to make sure it was working. $197. That's it. And then if you decide to go for the 500K program, awesome. $1,000 off. Or if you just want to sign up for the 500K program, you can do that at 500k.io. That's the little thing at the bottom. Cool? And so I'll test this out, see how well this works. Maybe, maybe not. It was an idea. I have never given this information for that low price. Ever. I was hesitant to do this. And I'm only doing this once. I'm not doing this again, I don't think. Oh, well, unless this is super successful, then maybe, but I don't know. So don't plan on me doing this ever again. Cool? Cool. All right. Should we do Q&A? Let's do that. Switch this around. Doop, doop, doop. Let's see. Actually, how do I change my screen share? So go ahead and type your questions in the chat as I move my screens around. Hang on. Hang on. Move this shit around. Stop screen. Present. Can you tell I have an IT background? I'm so out of date. Share screen. Oh, I see. Okay. Hang on. I get it. I'm smart. Hang on a second. Hang on. Almost done. Okay. Share screen. Screen 1. Share. Then let's do that. Cool. All right. Okay. Comments, chat, Q&A. Let's do this. Let's see. I need some water. Hang on. How long have we gone for? Not bad. Okay, good. Let's see here. I really want to take your service for residency soon, I hope. Well, the Armenia residency service is still open, and the Paraguay residency service is still open for another week. Armenia, you got like 3 more weeks. Paraguay, got 1 more week. CalebJones.com/events. And then we're doing one for Mexico later in the year, and then at the end of the year, we're doing one for Dubai. Pretty cool. Makes sense to shoot for 100 million USD for everyone. The reason is that medical costs are rising. I didn't even mention healthcare. Let me talk about healthcare really fast. Dan Kennedy, another one of my mentors, said in the 90s, he said this on stage. He said, in our lifetimes in the Western world, there will be 2 groups of people, and you're going to be in one of these 2 groups in terms of healthcare. There is no third category. Group 1 are people who buy what they want and get it, which means they have money. So they buy what they want. It's going to be super expensive. It's going to be a fucking ripoff, but they get it and it works. Group number 2 are people who wait in line. And you'd be waiting in line for 6 months, 8 months, a year, 3 months. You'd be waiting in line like communist Russia, he said. He goes, which group do you want to be in? You better make that money. Yeah. Have you taken Big 5 personality test or Hexco test? No, I'm not taking either one of those tests. I have not. I actually have not. In case they're late, can our government send the apostille documents to the Paraguay attorney firm you've recommended? Yes. That's a change now. We figured out a new system down here with our legal team down here in Paraguay. If they're late, if they don't arrive by the time you come to Paraguay in July, you can still get residency. You'll just have to wait a little longer for you to get the residency done. That's all. It's okay now. Why don't you recommend the 15K Thailand residency? As I've said many times now, I am not Andrew Henderson. I do not talk about the entire planet. I talk about the 5 best countries to get residency in. Just those 5. Those would be, in terms of ease and cost, in no particular order: UAE, Mexico, Paraguay, Armenia, and it used to be Panama. I'm replaced that with Uruguay. So I don't talk about anything else. Why don't I talk about Thailand? It's $15,000. You can get it in Armenia for $6,000. You get any of these other 4 countries for $2,000 or $3,000. That's what I don't talk about. I talk about the 5 best of the world. I talk about anything else. I niche. I follow my own advice. Please share the name of the webcam. Elgato Prima Lens. There you go. Great to see you. Look great. Share 2 tips on what your diet is. I'm near age, would love to help. You don't want to know my diet. I'm overweight. So don't take dietary advice from an overweight guy. If I get down to like 7% body fat with my ripped 6-pack abs, then I'll give it a diet advice. I'm not even down to 14%, 50, which is where I need to be. So I give advice on getting muscle. I'm pretty good at that. I've always been good at that. But losing body fat has been my weak area. I really shouldn't give advice about that. What do you think of offering patient retention strategies to physical therapy clinics as a consultant? That sounds great. Sounds very good. Didn't you cite a study in your book that says happiness caps out at $85,000 a year or something like that? Several studies. It doesn't cap out. It doesn't cap at 85. You can be happier if you make more than 85, but you get diminishing returns. So you don't get the same returns. So in other words, going from 85, what's double 85? 170,000 doesn't make you double as happy. It might make you 10% more happy. That's the difference. How do we compete for eyeballs in the world of boobies and video games? Niche. Talk to a narrow niche and only about a specific problem that they have that you can help solve. Then they'll pay attention to you. That's how you do it. Niche. My entire online presence, back to when I was a blogger in 2009, was micro-niched. I wasn't talking to everybody, talking to a very particular type of person, and that's it. That's how you do it. Will the follow-on workshop have payment plans? Yes, there will be some payment plans available for the 500K Accelerator. If you're interested, go to 500K.com. You do a phone call with one of our coaches. Actually, it'll probably be Matthew, who also makes 6-figure location dependent. He follows all the same models. Yes, there are payment plans available, but it's not like you can pay once a month for 12 months. You got to pay pretty soon up front. You got to pay within the first few months because you're getting so much shit right off the bat. We can't just take $1,000 from you and then you quit the program. It doesn't work that way. But the answer is yes, there are payment programs. Yes. Will it be fair to say that the wealthy mark is one of the net worth benchmarks that you have set for yourself? Just a head nod would suffice. I'm not saying a thing. I don't have a net worth goal. That's the truth. I do not have a net worth goal. I have a monthly income goal, and I have an after-tax residual monthly income goal. And so net worth is determined from a formula from that. I don't have I need to be worth X millions of dollars. I don't have one. When I was younger, more stupid, I want to be X millions of dollars. Yeah. Well, so what? Net worth doesn't mean anything. Are you liquid? How much do you make off of it? That's what it means. How much do you cash flow off that stuff? So that's why I changed that. What do you think about offering English accent correction for wealthy Chinese businessmen? That sounds great. Wealthy Chinese businessmen who do business in the West. Yeah. Other than time management, conversational skills, aqua independence, and confidence, which other leverage skills can you share if you think long and hard? Daily energy management. Is keyword research a good way to find out what your niche wants? That is one way, yes. Yes. Another way is go on LinkedIn and ask them. Yep. How did you know you weren't just spinning your wheels when you're posting 3 blog posts a week? Because I had some people reading and some people commenting, not much, but some. What's the nicest part of Asuncion? Villa Mora. Will signing up for the Founders Sanctum be redundant if we join the 500K? Not at all. Completely different program. They have nothing to do with each other. Not at all. There's no coaching, one-on-one coaching in Founders Sanctum. None. There's no one-on-one coaching in any of my programs except 500K. It's all group coaching and all that stuff like that. Has your 5 flag strategy changed since Andrew Tate was arrested? Nope, not at all. All that cash, passports that he's sitting in jail. Andrew Tate made a number of stupid mistakes, as I've talked about in the past. He didn't keep his goddamn mouth shut. Number one, you're not allowed to say whatever you want to say in the modern left-wing collapsing world. If you say certain things, you're going to be in big trouble, as Scott Adams just figured out last week. Okay, Scott Adams said 3 sentences and lost 80% of his income. You're not allowed to just say whatever you want. You've got to keep a rein on your dumb mouth. And if you're an alpha male 1.0 who has to tell everybody, because I'm Andrew Tate and I'm awesome, nothing bad will ever happen to me, you're in trouble. Number two, he was engaged in illegal activities. And I'm not even talking about the woman stuff. Maybe there too, I don't know. He does business with the mafia. As I talk about when I talk about Andrew Tate, doing illegal activities or shady shit is not a long-term sustainable model. You will eventually either go to jail or get killed, both of which I predicted. I said he's either going to go to jail or he's going to get killed, and I was right. First, I predicted he's going to be canceled. I was right, like literally within a week. Then I predicted he's going to either go to jail or get killed by the mafia. One of those two, and I was right on that. So it doesn't do with 5 flags. 5 flags does not give you a license to go around breaking a bunch of laws and doing a bunch of shady shit and going on social media and saying literally whatever you want that is not politically correct. 5 flags don't do with those two things. And again, he could have calmed down, but he chose not to. Where do most of your clients come from the Accelerator course? Online, word of mouth, social. Online and word of mouth. The most lovable teacher in the manosphere. I don't even know if I'm in the manosphere, am I? I don't know. Have you shuttled all the workbooks and workshops of the focus program and 6-figure more into the 500K BA? More or less, yes. How many such workshops like the Optimize Your Life workshop are there within the 500K BA? They aren't. It is we no longer have a workshop model. It's a one-on-one coaching model. So it's a curriculum model and one-on-one coaching. So we have a one-on-one coaching model as an extension of the content. So we follow a curriculum, and they have all the workbooks. The coaches have access to all that, but it's all one-on-one coaching now because the focus program was, again, group coaching and some one-on-one coaching. 500K Business Accelerator is 100% one-on-one coaching program. 100%. There's some group stuff in there, but it's 100% one-on-one. Do you still have 6-figure warrior as an intermediate level program? No. Our intermediate level program is the 90-day business builder now. Let's see. Express my gratitude for unfucking my life. You're welcome. Saving up for Bio. We just got high prodigal goals. It's cool. Awesome. I'm a hypnotherapist. How do you recommend someone in a service-based business like mine to level up their business to be the kind of numbers you're talking about? Thanks. Niche. Who is your niche? Anyone who requires hypnotherapy, it better not be that. Better be a certain type of person with a certain specific problem who has a decent income, and focus 100% on them. Then focus on marketing. That's it. That's the answer. Niche, as narrow as you can, plus marketing, and you're golden. That's it. How many days do you be physically present at UAE to get a tax certificate? I believe it's 10 days. How did your 3-week cold turkey diet thing you told us about recently go to work out? It went amazing. I keep forgetting to do a YouTube video about that. I record my YouTube videos once a week. I just recorded them. So this week, I'm going to try to remember to talk about that. More coming up in that video. I no longer eat sugar. It fucking worked. Now, well, it did work. I'm in here in Paraguay. I walk by alfajores. You know what those are? Those little cakes they have? They're amazing. I walk by and go, meh. I walk by Snickers bars, donuts, Cinnabon. Now I go, no. 50 years, never had that. So it fucking worked. Now, what it didn't do is remove my desire for bread, flour, gluten, pasta. So pizza still looks pretty fucking good. And I'll still cheat a little bit on that shit. So here they have empanadas, little things that, bread that's, covered in a bunch of cheese. I still like those. I still crave those. So for some reason, it didn't eliminate the need for bread. Totally eliminated my need for sugar. I've had sugar this year. I've had sugar, I think, 3 times. The last time I had sugar was a while back. I had a little bit of ice cream, but not because I wanted the sugar, because it was really hot out. And I was walking around and we just wanted something cold. And that's the only reason I ate the ice cream. I no longer need sugar ever again. Awesome. So it worked. More on the YouTube video about that coming. Does your concept having net worth of 10 million address future biotech that will let us live longer and have enough to reinvest and make news business in the future? That's a very big topic. Here's the bottom line on that. To take advantage of the biotech that is coming, you're going to need some fucking money, because I definitely going to take advantage of that. I want to live as long as I can. I want to keep this party going as long as I possibly can. I want to live 500 years if I can. If I can look like this or close to this for 500 years, I'm down. Most people go, I would never want to live that long. Yeah, because your life sucks. You work at a corporate job and your personal life sucks. Of course you don't want to live that long. You live a great life. You don't ever want to die. I don't ever want to die. Ever. Especially when you're a boy. Women go, I don't want to get old. I'd rather die. Okay, fine. I want to live forever. So that's going to require some money. That's another reason I have to make the money I need to make. I want to take advantage of this stuff. I'll throw another crazy thing in there. I would like to have my brain frozen when I die. If they haven't invented a thing where they can take my brain out and put it in a clone body or a robot body that looks like this, if they haven't invented that by the time I die, I want to freeze my brain, okay? Not my body, just my brain. Not even my head, just my brain, so it's viable. So when they invent the technology, they can thaw me out and plug it in. That's going to require a lot of money. There you go. Banking question. 2 banks left. Oh, yeah. Silicon Valley banked. Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah. The collapse continues. Don't have a lot of money in the Western world, guys. Those of you who have assets, get it out of there. Don't do it. How did you end up using UAE over Bahrain and Qatar? Bahrain and Qatar are both about 10 years behind the UAE. UAE is number 1 top in the Middle East. Bahrain and Qatar are good, but they're making the reforms now. Qatar in particular, they're making the reforms now that Dubai already made about 4, 5, 6 years ago. So they're a little lagging behind Dubai. That's why. How do you find a niche that you would most enjoy working with when you have no idea where to start? Start with you. What do you enjoy? What is your experience? What do you have experience in terms of your school, all of your past jobs, your past businesses, your friends, your family? Make a big brainstorm list. Start with what you like. Then start with what you know. Then go to what you've heard of. Make a giant brainstorm list. List 47 things. Then go through that list. You'll find something you might be interested in. You will. I have a business idea with a few employees. Do not do that. Which made it location dependent and reached 6-figure mark. Oh, you have an idea. Sorry. I misread your comment. I'm sorry. Let me start again. I have a business with a few employees, which made it location independent and reached 6-figure mark. What exactly do you recommend not having any employee in your model? Thank you. What exactly do you recommend not? I don't understand your question. If you have employees, you don't run your business. The government runs your business with you. Can you fire those employees right now, tomorrow, and do it any way you want? Nope. There's regulations and rules about how you fire them, how you hire them, the payroll taxes you got to pay that I don't have to worry about. So when you have employees, you don't fully control your business. That's why I recommend a no employee model. What's Pink Firefly's OnlyFans page? She doesn't have one. She would be terrified. So what I might do on that is I'm going to try to get her permission. She doesn't give me permission yet. We're going to talk about this when I go back to Dubai. I want to be able to publicize her Instagram page. I'm not going to tell you what that is because she's on Instagram for her friends and family. But I'm going to publicize it. You guys can join that. And you can see her videos and shit. She does workout videos. She does all kinds of shit. Her trainer will videotape her with her big boobs when she's doing push-ups. It's hilarious. But I got to get her permission first. So that's the closest they get. She won't do it. OnlyFans. She would never do that. You should do an OnlyFans. No, I'm scared. Would some of the things you talk about privately in your coaching programs get you banned from YouTube? Yes. Any tips for getting in touch with decision makers, cold calling B2B? How to get in touch with them? Offer them value. So here's one: pay them for their time. Depends what you're doing. So offer them value, offer them advice, offer them help, offer them assistance instead of trying to sell them something. That's a very long topic. That's the best way to give you a quick Q&A. Do you use the UNA to get an income tax certificate as a way to break tax ties with the U.S.? You use a double taxation agreement. Is there a center for none of that matters UAE. There's no taxes UAE. Double taxation agreements are like with other countries, Western countries, UAE isn't Western, that have income tax. UAE doesn't have income tax. So like Australia. So if you from the US to Australia, they have a double taxation agreement where you don't get taxed twice. None of that is relevant in UAE. None of it. They don't have tax there. Really want to do the 500K holding next generation right now doing 90-day business builder. Cool. If you're a 90-day business builder, talk to Matthew. If you're interested, we'll give you another big discount, a few $1,000. So if you're a 90-day business builder, I've ever been a 90-day business builder, we'll give you a few $1,000 discount on top of the one you'll get next week if you do the workshop. Okay. But if you can't do it right now, I understand. It's fine. I have experience owning an assisted living facility, but I want to do something Alpha 2.0 in the medical field related to consulting coaching services. Any suggestions? Freeze your brain. I will freeze my brain. Well, maybe I need to. Maybe I'll live long enough where I can just do that. Yes. Here's what you do in your case. All of you guys, you have your own business already. Hang on a sec. Need water. My voice starting to crack like I'm going through puberty. Hang on a sec. Who's texting me? Dude, leave me alone. Go through your business, figure out what you have accomplished in your business, even if it's a little thing that is above the industry norm. Maybe you make more money. Maybe you have lower turnover. Maybe you have a way of maintaining clients long. I don't know what it is. Figure out what that is. Hopefully 2 or 3 things. Then become a consultant for other assisted living centers on how to do that thing. Boom, money. That's money, dude. That's it. Do that. What would you say is the closest equivalent to UAE in South America? Uruguay? There is no close equivalent to UAE in South America. Sorry. Whole different planet. Uruguay's great. Uruguay's, if you don't want to rough it, Uruguay's probably the best option in South America, yes. If you don't want to rough it like here in Paraguay, yeah. Or Mexico, you want something a little higher end than Mexico or certainly Paraguay, Uruguay. And I have some resources coming on that later this year, early next. Not Panama. Yeah, Panama is still okay. It's just not my top thing I recommend anymore. My employees were the ones who made my business location independent and gave me more money while I'm away, but indeed government and payrolls are a pain in the ass. Yeah, you can have I'm not saying you can develop a location independent model with employees. That is not impossible. I know a few people have done that, but I have a lot more freedom as a business owner than you do. I have 17 people in my largest company. None of them are employees. I can do whatever I want with those people. I can fire them. I can hire them. I can reduce their hours. I don't have to fuck with taxes. I don't have to fuck with payroll. I don't fuck with that stuff. I can do whatever I want. I have no HR department. I have to worry about HR things. You do. Okay? Yeah. Can I suggest a UMS deep dive training on the optimization phase and optimizing an A2 business with the current client base? Sure. Cool. Let me check really quick to see if the link is ready. Hang on. Let me turn off the screen share for a sec. Give you guys a link for the workshop. Let's see if that's there. Hang on. I have so many screens. Jeez, Caleb. Screens, bro. Hang on. Did I close that screen? Fuck, did I close that thing? Maybe I did. Oh, I'm a dumbass. Okay, hang on. Hang on. More agua. Sí, mucho agua. Sí. Ooh, I think she has it. Hang on. I think we have it. We have a link. All right. I am putting in the chat the link for the workshop. There you go. I just put in the chat. So I will also put it in the description of this video. Cool? Cool. Apologize for the delay. My fault. Everything in my life is my fault. So it's 100% my fault. Okay. back to your questions. Hang on. Is $500K a year what you recommend for a single man, or would it be enough to also support a wife and kid? I'm single with no kids, but considering both of my future. The vast majority of you men will want that at some point in your future, post age 35. And if you're under the age of 35 and say, I'm never getting married, I never do that, you're wrong. You're wrong. You may not get legally married, but you will eventually settle down with someone. You're not going to want to be single or a swinging single guy or banging chicks left and right when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You won't want that unless you are a bizarre accepted rule, which do exist. There are rare guys who like that stuff. That's unlikely to be you. So, yes, $500K plus a year covers you no matter what. That's the beauty of that income. Covers you to be single, plenty to have a wife and kid, especially if you live outside the West. $500K, you're golden. $100K, you're not. You can't raise a kid properly in the Western world with the prices and inflation on $100K a year. I've said this 10,000 times. In the modern day collapsing Western world, having children for people who live in the Western world now are only for high income, wealthy men. I hope you're a millionaire or make, strong six figures if you want to have any kids. 300,000 minimum. I don't know what the minimum would be. I have to think about that. Off the top of my head, it'd be 300,000. 500,000 would be okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good to go. I talked to a guy Friday, friend of mine in the space, in the information space. He makes 7 figures, lives with his wife, lives in Canada, 2 small kids. He's fine. Now, he's in Canada. He's getting raped by taxes. That's why he was talking to me. Get the hell out of there. But even with the Canadian taxes, he's fine because he's making 7 figures. His wife is very happy. His kids are very happy. He's a good guy. Yeah, so he's fine. You bet. Steve Thorne TV, don't make comments like that. Put your entire comment in one comment. It's very hard to read your comments, your chats. So retype your question and put it all into one thingy. Is there a center of life test or a days test for the UAE in order to pay income tax or get an annual tax certificate for a personal level? How many days for the test? That is not relevant to the UAE. It's relevant to your home country. That'd be the United States. So I don't know what a nationality you are. It depends on the country you're coming from. UK, United States. Let me know what country you're coming from. I'll explain how it works. Nothing to do with where you go. Nothing to do with UAE. You don't get a tax certificate. It is, again, for the second time, that is for a dual taxation tax treaty country. That UAE doesn't have those with the United States. It has no taxes. As a health fitness coach, how do I structure my work with my clients so I'm not earning by the hour? Retainer, flat fee retainer, monthly retainer. A, B, by project. I'm going to sell you a package. It's 6 months or 3 months or 2 months. And in this 3-month period or 2-month period, you get this, and the results will be this. That's it. Do not charge by the hour. Worst way to charge human beings. Worst. It's awful. Charge by, as you probably already know. Can we request workbooks and previous interview? Yes. If you join the 500K, matter of fact, I think they're part of the program. I think they're part of the documents you get. The answer is big yes. I think they're an automatic part of the program, if I remember right. Yeah. I can hang out for a few more minutes. How are we doing on time here? What time is it? Ooh, shit. Yeah, a few more minutes. I got a vominos. Link below if you want to be part of the workshop on the 22nd. If you want to join the 500K program. If you have any interest in the 500K program, it's tax deductible, 500K.io, and schedule a call with, likely you'll get Matthew. You don't have to do it. At least you get all the information, getting the pricing options, the payment options, the discounts. Some of you are applicable for discounts. Talk to Matthew about that. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But at least you have the information, because I think we have to close enrollment in 2 weeks. So I wish I had the date in front of me. The date keeps. Anyway, I'm not organized in terms of that aspect because my team is. But so if you have an interest, do it. And you'll be working one-on-one with me, one-on-one with Billy, Jeff, Andrew, all the guys we have, a whole menu of coaches. And then you'll come with us to the event. I don't know what we're doing next year. We got to pick. We took a vote this time, and the guys voted for Vegas. Maybe we'll do Vegas again next year. I don't know. It's awesome. Plus, you get everything I've ever done. You get $13,000 stuff as soon as you sign up. Day one, as soon as you sign up or make your first payment, you get everything. And it's yours forever. It's not bad. So in a way, all the coaching you get is kind of free. Not exactly, but close. It's free because you're getting all my stuff. And you get all my stuff again for the following year. Let's see. Is the podcast that just recorded? It wasn't my podcast. It was on someone else's podcast. Would investing in real estate in the West be a good idea? Let me start over. Would investing in real estate in the West in good areas be a bad investment for someone who makes $500K? Real estate questions, that is a very general question. I can't answer real estate questions because real estate is very regional. I can't answer that question. It'd be very, very specific about exactly what you wanted to do. Commercial properties, residential properties, multifamily, single family, what city, what are you going to do? What is your debt structure? I can't answer general real estate questions. Is real estate a good idea in the West? It depends what you're doing. 10,000 things. Speaking wildly in general, I don't want to own a lot of real estate long-term anywhere in the Western world, but I'm a maniac with this stuff. I'm an extremist with this stuff. I don't want to own any real estate in the United States. The United States is collapsing. Short-term, because you make it work depending on what you're doing. If you're careful, yes. I'd rather own real estate in Southeast Asia. That's where I'm going. That's the real estate you want. Holy shit. Buy real estate in a country that's going to hockey stick up, not in a country that's going, Meh. Yeah. Let's do 2 or 3 more questions and I'll wrap it up. Unless you guys are done. I'll wait about 30 seconds. I know there's a delay from when you type it from when I see it. I got to get back to living up in Paraguay. Actually, Paraguay is very calm and actually borderline boring. So I'm an introvert. I don't care. All these young party guys. What's cool to hang out in Paraguay? Don't. If that's where you're coming to Paraguay, don't come here. Go to Brazil. Go to Colombia. Go to Buenos Aires. Don't go to Paraguay. You'll get bored. Are the banks in Paraguay or Thailand likely to have the problems U.S. banks are having? No. Of course not. They're not leveraged like this. Now, they have other problems. Paraguay is an emerging market country, so there's risk there. But no, they're not over leveraged on that bullshit like the American. But of course not. No. Nope. Can we ask you if we can swap out the A2 Biz course for the 6-figure location apparent course? That question makes no sense. You get all the courses. When you sign up for 500K, you get all my courses as soon as you sign up. You get them all. Are you actually trying to learn Spanish? No, I'm not. I just don't have. Going back to what I said earlier, I would like to learn Spanish. I don't have time for that project. That's a project that takes real time and effort and energy. I don't have time in my life for that project. I got to get to work. So no. Instead, whenever I come to Paraguay, I learn new words from my friends. My friends teach me new words. And my clients and my attorneys down here teach me new words. I learn new things. I read new signs. And so I build little bits and pieces every time. So, and then I use Google Translate when they don't speak Spanish or speak English. Habla inglés. And no. So the answer is no, I don't. Is it an advantage to speak Spanish? Absolutely. Would I like to speak Spanish? Absolutely. It make my life a lot easier. Not a lot easier, but it would make it easier. And a little more effective in certain areas. But I don't need to. I've done many YouTube videos with this. I get along just fine down here. Virtually no one speaks English down here, and I get along just fine. I make it work. It doesn't really bother me. Okay, we'll do one more question, unless you guys are done. I'll do one more. All right. Last question, or last 2 or 3 questions that just popped in here. Came in link. Did you already talk about dating in Paraguay? That is not the topic of this webinar. You are at the wrong channel. Go to Alpha Male 2.0. Although this is streaming on Alpha Male 2.0, isn't it? No, that is not the topic of this seminar. Do you think the fitness niche is oversaturated? I don't think. I know it is, by far. Do you recommend a passion business like B2C coaching based on my personal interests over making the most money with SMMA and profitable niches? I always recommend going after the money. I always recommend this. Always, 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 always. Always. Unless your passion is something that's very high profit. If your passion is sales, bro, you're good. But that's usually not people's passion. I've known people, their passion is doing cold calls. Wish I was like that, but most likely your passion is in something that doesn't make a lot of money. Your passion is in teaching, being a teacher, or video games, or porn, right? Shit like that. Shit doesn't make a lot of money. So I always recommend going after money. All right, last question. Parts of Philippines for single men. I am not the guy to ask that question, but everywhere in the Philippines, if you're Western, is good for a single man. Philippines is the easiest place to get laid on earth. Number one easiest place on earth for Western men. Go there for a week and watch what happens. And just go to a bar and talk to girls. And just watch what happens. All right. I got to go. Thank you very much. 500k.io. Link below for 500k program or the workshop I will be doing on March 22nd. That is, if optional gateway into 500k, that's only $197. Link below and link in the chat. Cool. See you guys possibly next week for the workshop. So you guys set up for the workshop. I'll see you next week. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Bye.